Hello and welcome back. This is another 5th and 6th grade decimals video. In this video, our focus is going to be how to round decimals. Okay, here is our first one. Now, if you have ever rounded whole numbers before or multi-digit whole numbers, then this process is going to seem very familiar to you because it's very similar to rounding decimals. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by rewriting the number that we have, 6.47. I'm just doing that to give myself a little bit more space. We are rounding to the nearest whole number. So keep in mind that whole numbers are numbers that are to the left of the decimal. So if we want to round this to the nearest whole number, first let's identify which digit is in the whole number spot. And that would be the 6. Then I'm going to look right next to it, to the number just to the right. If that number is 5 or more, that means I'm going to raise the score. If it is 4 or less, I'm going to let it rest. And what I'm talking about it when I'm raising it or letting it rest is the 6. Okay, so since this is 4 or less, I have to let it rest, which means the 6 has to stay the same. A common misconception among learners is that, oh, if I don't round up, I have to round down. So that is going to go down to 5. It's actually not. It's either going to go up or it's going to stay the same. So once the 4 has decided for us what's going to happen to the 6, everything to the right of the decimal or to the right of that place value will become zeros. So the decimal will stay, but these will become zeros. So if you want to go ahead and eliminate unneeded decimals, you could just rewrite that as 6. So 6.47 rounded to the nearest whole number would be 6. Okay, here is our next one. We're going to round 6.1 to the nearest whole number again. So I'm going to go ahead and put 6.1 here on the screen. And then I'm going to start by identifying which digit is in the whole number position. Whole numbers are to the left of the decimal, so the only thing we have to the left of the decimal is the 6. That has to be the nearest whole number. Then I'm going to look right here at this digit just to the right. If that was 5 or more, I would raise the score. But since it's 4 or less, I'm going to let it rest. And it is the number in the place value that we're rounding to. So 6 is going to stay the same. It's not going to round down. It's not going to round up. It's going to stay the same. And then everything to the right of that place value is going to become 0. So decimal and a 0. Now, if you don't want to have unnecessary zeros, then you could just rewrite this as a 6. So 6.1 rounded to the nearest whole number is 6. What that means is 6.1 is closer to 6 than it is to 7. Okay, here is the next one. What is 5.259 rounded to the nearest hundredth? Okay, so for this one, we're rounding to the hundredths place. So let me go ahead and rewrite our number, 5.259. Now we have to identify which digit is in the hundredths place. So this is the ones place, this is the tenths place, and this right here is the hundredths place. Got to fit it in. So that means 5 is in the hundredths place. Now I have to look just to the right of that. And if that is 5 or more, I raise the score. If it is 4 or less, I let it rest. So 9 is definitely more than 5. That means I'm going to raise the score of the 5. That's going to go up from a 5 to a 6. Now everything to the right of that place value becomes a 0. So that 9 becomes a 0. And everything to the left of that place value stays exactly the same. So the 2 is going to stay the same, the decimal, and the 5. Now, if you want to get rid of any unnecessary zeros, you can get rid of this one. So that would be 5.26. Okay, here's our next one. What is 4.267 rounded to the nearest whole number? Okay, so we're rounding to the whole number. I'm going to rewrite 4.267 here. I'm going to identify what number is in the place value we're rounding to. So 4 is the only whole number that we have. I'm going to look directly to the right. If that is 5 or more, I would raise the score of the 4. If it's 4 or less, I'm going to let the 4 rest. So the 4 is going to rest because 2 is definitely less than 4. It's 4 or less, so it's less than 5. So 4 is going to stay the same here. Now, everything to the right of that place value is going to become a 0. I will keep the decimal, but everything else is going to become a 0. Now, if I want to get rid of all those unnecessary zeros, I can, and just rewrite that as 4. So 4.267 rounded to the nearest whole number is 4. What that means is that that number is closer to 4 than it is to 5. Okay, here's our last example for today's video. We're going to take 96.218 and round it to the nearest tenth. So let me go ahead and rewrite 96.218. And now I'm going to identify which digit is in the 10th place. Well, if this is tens, this is ones, this is tenths right here. So I know this is the digit I'm rounding to. I'm going to look right next to it and I see a 1 there. So that 1 is definitely 4 or less, which means the 2 is going to rest. So I'm going to bring that down here. Everything to the right of that place value is going to become a 0. And everything to the left of that place value is going to remain exactly the same. So decimal 6, 9. Then I can get rid of unnecessary zeros. And my final answer would be 96.2. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in another video soon.